TWS and Talk here, coming off of old school Monday Night Raw this past week, as well as social media SmackDown on Friday, which personally I didn't check out myself. But anyhow, the reason I didn't bother with social media SmackDown, um, well, for one, I normally I'm normally pretty busy on Friday nights as it is. I personally check I try to check SmackDown out on YouTube, um, during the weekend, but um, this whole social media thing, I just want to touch on that first, quickly. Um, the bottom line is, back in the day when social media wasn't as prominent today, it really didn't need to be a part of the product anyways. I mean, social media WWE seems to use. I mean, I don't want to, kind of place something on WWE that might not be totally true, but it seems like WWE may be, using social media as an excuse, um, for not improving the content. Because let's face it, there are plenty of ways, plenty of big things WWE could be doing, to improve the content, and yet they take a little thing like social media, like tout, and they try to make it this big, part of the show. I mean, and the same goes for Twitter. That little banner at the bottom that shows up every now and then nowadays, saying what so and so says on Twitter. I really don't care. What's trending. Um, there's a match between uh, John Cena and CM Punk, and it says trending now, John Cena and CM Punk. Well, no, duh. I mean, come on. Of course they're trending. If people are on Twitter, if they're in the middle of a match, of course they're trending. What do you need to put that on the screen for? You know, so it's a bunch of Twitter references and tout references, and oh, WWE now has so many Facebook, however many Facebook likes they want to put. Um, you know, eh, and really that doesn't matter because that's not. How does that improve in the content? It's like it feels as if the whole thing, with me and this social media thing in WWE. You didn't need it, back in the Attitude Era, and back in the earlier 2000s, and when, and I'm not gonna try to, be this Attitude Era, um, fanboy here or anything, but when the content was really at its best creatively, um, when this company was at its creative peak back in the day. They didn't need to say how, oh, we're this popular. We have of course, obviously, Facebook wasn't around back then. Tout wasn't around, Twitter, etc. But they still didn't need to, you know, on an excessive basis, show, these bullying campaigns and whatnot. And it's as if WWE's trying to say, oh, look what we're doing. Look how many Facebook likes we have and stuff. And back then they didn't do that. And the content was better. So there's some kind of correlation there. I mean, the way I see it. So this whole social media thing, I can't say whether or not it was a good show or not. I didn't see it um myself, so my guess is that it wasn't very good. Um you guys you people listening on YouTube, fill me in on that. You fill me in on this whole social media thing. I don't, I really don't see the purpose of it. To me, it only distracts from the show, and it's not necessary. It's as simple as that. Um, there's not too much else to. talk about right now. Even though we're leading up to WrestleMania, I pretty much covered it pretty, pretty extensively last time, my last edition of TW Wrestling Talk. How things seem to have been shaping up for WrestleMania, and this Monday Night Raw, was not a surprise. With the major, match setups that they have. It was obvious Triple H was gonna, you know, come back and set. Once he came back, it was obvious he was gonna set up a rematch with him and Brock Lesnar, and it's only a matter of time now before we see that match set in stone. Of course, the Undertaker came back this Monday on Raw. Um, of course, they had the Fatal Four Way with CM Punk, and the rest of the guys in the match didn't really matter because it was clearly predictable and obvious that CM Punk was going to be the guy that gets the win here. So I think it was nice that they tried to have a Fatal Four Way match, but WWE. I think you had nobody fooled that CM Punk was gonna win the match. So for that, it was a little laughable. I think a little predictable. And how you know, and how they had him. Once he was in the match, he knew he was gonna win. That's the bottom line. I already mentioned last time on TW Wrestling Talk, it appeared that's the direction that they were gonna go. Lo and behold, that's the direction they're going. No surprises here. Um, so yeah, if you just go through this WrestleMania is looking pretty, one-on-one heavy. Doesn't Thus far doesn't look like any triple threats or fatal four ways. Probably have a tag team match or two in there. With the Shield obviously being one of them. Um, Maybe Kane and Daniel Bryan. Who knows there? But a lot of similar to last year. A lot of one-on-one. Um, I wanted to talk about John Cena and The Rock, their encounter this week. Finally it was only a matter of time until they got to, these two guys kind of, having these promos again together and, focusing on each other now that CM Punk is essentially out of the picture, um, the WWE Championship. So John Cena and The Rock have this what is titled point and counterpoint promo on Raw. And The Rock, unsurprisingly, he was on top of his game as always. The I mean, he couldn't do any wrong in this promo really. He's the new WWE champion with the new WWE Championship belt. Um, you know, After WrestleMania, it's obvious. He's going back to more extensive movie making, and all they really have for him to do right now, I guess, is you know just play his role the way he does, which is very good. I think that was pretty evident this Monday on Raw. Um, of course, though, they gotta have him. They have to make it as if he, you know, they have to make everyone believe that. Oh man, The Rock means business. He might walk out of WrestleMania WWE champion still, and obviously that's not going to be the case. Um, so but it's a nice try on WWE's part, I guess, to make people believe. Oh man, The Rock. What else are they gonna have him do? I guess. Um, but the problem is, it seems like this whole thing picks up right where they left off um, last year, the build up to WrestleMania. Um, you still I mean, I hate to say it, but you can't do this feud. You can't pull this feud off very well this second time around unless you were gonna have John Cena in a character change, and they don't. I mean, this is a second go around here. It's really tough to do these feuds, especially a second time around when there is no character change. And I'm looking at John Cena here because obviously I'm pretty sure The Rock is babyface for life now. That he's at that status. Especially when he came back. There's it's almost impossible for him to be a heel. Um, but it's like impossible to change his character for that matter. But John Cena, on the other hand, it's like they pick up right where they left off with him. With this feud and The Rock last year. It's a lot of phoniness, if you ask me. They they have Cena, and this is between WWE creative, John Cena, whatever it be. They have John Cena say how his loss to The Rock last year bothered him so much. Um, it's he's gotta right this major wrong, and it hurt. He said he needed that match, and he lost it, and it bothers him. It's been bothering him so much, and I'm thinking, bull crap. You got to be kidding me. So okay, since his loss to The Rock at WrestleMania, he's been, we're supposed to believe that he has been bothered so much about that. Let's go back to the let's go back and look at the over the limit match against John Laurinaitis. I mean, all kinds of fun there, didn't he? I'm sure it was really bothering him there. When he's taking a fire extinguisher, he's spraying John Laurinaitis. He's pretending to do commentary with John Laurinaitis and amongst other things. Um, one point during the summer, he does a promo Chris Jericho before Money in the Bank. He's cracking Star Wars jokes. Um, you know, I mean, overkilling it, if you ask me. Um, he's he continues to come out, with the same entrance formula. He continues to, you know, goof into the goof into the camera and continues to run out to the ring. Definitely not like a man who's bothered. More like a man who just doesn't know how to run. I mean, you take a good look at that. You take a good look at the way he runs to the ring, the way he jumps around the ring. When when he beats Dolph Ziggler on Monday Night Raw one night. Well, he beat him several nights for that matter. It seems. He jumps around the ring like it's the first time he's ever won a match. Um, yeah, not long ago, he's out in the ring. He's doing a promo essentially with no substance whatsoever to it. Nothing but like Call of Duty jokes, um, and women's yoga position references. Um, I mean, come on. You mean to tell me this past year you were supposed to believe that match last year, his loss to The Rock? You expect me to believe that after another goof go round of a year. I think I just made that word up. Okay, goof go round of John Cena's year here. Got stuck on that one a little bit. Essentially it's just been another go around in the Cena merry-go-round this past year, if you ask me. Um, you know, how are we supposed to believe that that match last year really affected um really affected John Cena that much. It doesn't appear that way at all. It, I mean, if it, I think what they could have done last year, even though WWE doesn't seem to have the balls, for lack of a better term, to do, turn John Cena heel, or at least change his character, but I think inevitably they can't do that successfully unless they turn him heel. Um, and I'm not one of these big heavy, turn John Cena heel advocates. It would certainly be nice, but there's just other way. That's not the only way um, that they could possibly change his character, but it's probably the most surefire way. The bottom line here is, last year, you know, with that match against The Rock, they had a chance to do something big with John Cena, big and relevant in the landscape of WWE. They could have turned him heel, and really, for that time after, really made it look like that victory bothered John Cena. But they didn't do that. Within the matter of a couple weeks, it's like suddenly he beats John Cena in one of the flukiest and most pathetically finished matches in WWE history. They have him win that match, in that fashion, and then he's back to being, old goofball John Cena, within like a, snap of a finger. Um, so don't bullcrap us, WWE. Um, don't pretend that John Cena has truly been bothered all this time, when really he's been playing the same old tricks the whole year, the same old goofball character, and then when he tries to get serious, it seems to fail, because it doesn't seem like he can pull off angles when he's supposed to be legitimately frustrated, when he spends too much time goofing around. Um, it it's hard to take him seriously, as a guy who's legitimately angry or bothered, when every night he comes running out of the ring, like as The Rock once said, like he was shot out of Barney the dinosaur's anus. Um, no, I again I borrow that from The Rock, but I that was a good way to put it. That one night when he put it that way. Um, so I mean, WWE can't fool me, at least. Maybe they're fooling some people, but they're certainly not fooling me. Um, and it's a shame, because it seems like we're right back where we left off last year. Um, the Rock will have something serious to say. Um, and John Cena will give him this like childish looking smirk. That it doesn't work. You want to see someone who doesn't smirk, but you want to see someone who is gonna use something as fuel, not be like this smirky goofball. Um, that they just seem to have had John Cena be since last year, also when he was in this feud with The Rock. You don't see The Rock doing this smirking crap. See, the big difference between John Cena and The Rock, for whatever reason, they have Rock joke, you know, at an apt time. But when it's time, to be serious, The Rock is serious. When he inserts humor, it's just like spot on, like it works. That's the best way I can put it. But with John Cena, it seems forced. It almost makes him come off as like a bipolar character, because for some one thing he'll give this smirk towards, and then another thing he'll give like this like 8-year-old angry boy stare, like he kind of seemed to be giving The Rock as that segment was coming to a close. I mean, I don't know. It just it seemed like a. I mean, if I go back and look at it, the first time I saw it, it looked a little silly to me. Um, but it just doesn't seem like Cena can, you know, it doesn't seem like for whatever reason when he's humorous, it's like overkill. Like it's trying to be crammed down our throats. And then when he's like supposed to be angry and mad, it doesn't seem like an apt time for it. I mean I don't know what to say. Like it doesn't all add up. Bottom line, this feud seems to be it's like we're going through last year again. Except this time what makes it worse is that we know John Cena is going to win this time. It's about redemption and everything. Um and it's a shame really because The Rock is doing a great job. He can't he doesn't do any wrong here. I mean, I'm listening to The Rock and I'm thinking, what can he possibly do better um for this feud than, with what they're giving him, th- it's what I don't know what he can do better. He does a good job. I mean, he's The Rock. It's enough said. Um and under the circumstances, he's going to lose. So, you know, in hindsight, he's doing he's doing his job pretty darn well. While WWE Creative and John Cena and Vince, to whatever degree each end is responsible, they're not. It's just not working with John Cena. That's the bottom line. Um, it's just like last year. His character is literally no different. It's only the situation, I guess, here at hand. The Rock's WWE champion John Cena lost, but it's still the same, you know, same crap, different toilet. I mean, as some might say. I mean, same crap, different toilet. Exactly. But with John Cena, that is, and that's how I feel a lot with John Cena. Unfortunately, when it comes to John Cena, same old crap, different toilet. So is that what we're going to continue to get here in this feud? Because it's a shame, really. Um, because that's probably going to be the case. So we'll just have to stay tuned, I guess, and see what else happens. But my guess is it's going to be the same old crap, just different toilet next week on Raw. Um, so yeah, I mean that wraps things up. I mean, it's not too much else to talk about right now, unfortunately. Um, there's no new matches that we know of really, other than the ones I talked about. I mean, it's obvious Undertaker's gonna face CM Punk, but that was obvious last week. Um, Triple H versus Lesnar, that was obvious last week. Um, and Cena winning, um, going to face The Rock at WrestleMania, that was pretty obvious already too. So it's unfortunate. Um, I feel like we're in a bit of an ebb here with WWE, and that's sad because it's supposed to be the build up to the grandest stage of them all. Um, whether or not they improve things on the build up here on the road to WrestleMania, I guess that remains to be seen. So we'll stay tuned and see if things happen to improve. Um, so that's all I got for this edition of TW Wrestling Talk. Stay tuned for more to come later this week as usual. Thanks again for tuning in. If I haven't said thanks already, but I encourage subscriptions, obviously, and feedback and questions, whatever it be. So stay tuned for more TW Wrestling Talk with that in mind.